So if you aren't exfoliating on a regular, if you aren't using sunscreen, your skin can start to look blotchy. It can start to look uneven. And then that's when you start to get, those lightening and brightening treatments to balance your skin back out to where it looked before you had all that sun damage from. A lot of people just have a lot of sun damage and just don't understand it or know what it looks like until you started having chemical peels and things like that and you get back to your natural state. But most of us are like 3 different tones. I'm like 2 different tones on my arm, my face and my neck. Like we're not one particular color. You know what I'm saying? So
could that be fixed?
Not as far as like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's in our DNA. You know what I'm saying? Okay, as far as like, even if you look at yourself in the mirror, like you're not just one tone. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little more complex than that, but it can definitely get a little tricky when it comes to, knowing what to look for. And you know what I'm saying? When it comes to services and stuff like that, but you gotta have a good eye and just know skin. Like that's the biggest thing, just knowing skin.
So before we get into what you're gonna do next, what are some of the biggest lessons that you learned in the esthetician field by itself?
Patience.
Yeah,
patience. That was one of probably the biggest life lessons, career lessons, just all the way around, just having patience with people. Because we can, as service providers, we can want things for people and they could want it for themselves, but they, they're not able to commit, I would say, into, doing the things necessary, making the necessary life changes or, changing the diet or whatever the case may be to get their, say, for example, get their skin where they want it. You know what I'm saying? Especially from like my acne clients. My acne clients, they already know it's a certain regimen that you need to kind of like stay on. It's certain foods you need to avoid. I was just gonna
say dealing with food.
It's certain.
I can't have chocolate, milk, cheese. I don't think
because
cheese
it's bad for you. Like
I will break.
It leaves a lot of information.
Yes,
everything we eat. You got to think about it. Like back in the day, like our parents, our ancestors, they weren't dealing with the issues that we deal with now when it comes to skin, lifestyle, all this cancer, all these other ailments. Because everything was more pure, it was more natural. But nowadays, everything is so filled with all these preservatives and all these additives and everything else, these hormones and stuff. Once we ingest those in our body don't know how to react to it. That's where the inflammation comes from. Therefore, all the other triggers and everything comes out in our skin. Literally, everything comes out. So whatever you put in, it's going to come out. Depending on, you know what I'm saying, what the situation is. So you got to know certain triggers that can work for your body and what you kind of like got to stay away from.
Right, that's what I was going to ask. Like, so how would somebody know? Like, how did you know?
Esthetician? That's what corrective skincare estheticians, we do the excess, you know what I'm saying, the extra advanced classes to know and research to know what the triggers are.
So
and then once you
like look at him until he couldn't.
Once we had a consult and he dealt, because his skin is pretty much like mine is. He has oily skin like I do. So with oily skin, there's certain triggers that we kind of like gotta watch out for. It's certain treatments that we need to that are very effective for our skin. So you just kind of like know in that realm of things. But as I study different skin types, you kind of like know what to do for certain individuals, and then you just tailor that down to the specific person that you're dealing with. So I know him, he likes sweet. So, okay, once a week, you can have your little cheat day, but you need to balance that out. You know what I'm saying?
So you said once a week?
Once a week. I'm not with the whole eliminating everything.
You about to tell already.
But you got to balance it out. You can't be eating sweets every day. Have your little cheat day. And, the other days you grinding, meal prepping, getting your fruits, your vegetables, your vitamins, whatever you say, you know what I'm saying? Get the rest of it in so you can, everything will be balanced. Everything in life is about balance, literally.
In my defense, I was raised a little bit differently. So I was literally part of the reason why I love sweets, number one, I have a sweet tooth, but I was raised by just eating good.
It's a comfort food.
Right. And then topping off with a dessert. Like you have one serving of food, you have one dessert a day, and then you're pretty much okay. Right. If you diet or if you exercise, I didn't really have to diet, but as I got older, my body did start to react a little bit differently, especially once I hit 30. Like I can't have too much sweets, alcohol. I have to monitor my alcohol intake when I have drinks in general, because the next day I'm done.
Yeah, it's every 30 hit me hard. That's what really shifted everything, because I'm like, yo, where's all this extra weight coming from? And it's going to the wrong places. So now I got to work out on top of trying to eat right. So it's like a whole situation. But it happens.
Yeah. Are you gonna like tie the wellness and esthetician in together and like kind of make it like one kind of thing?
Yeah, what are you gonna do next?
So
thanks, Renaldo.
So I'm stepping away from the treatment room. You know what I'm saying? I'm always be an esthetician. It it'll always be a part of me. You know, I'm just not doing hand-on services anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I can step outside of the treatment room and really just focus on other avenues. So I'm actually transitioning into life coaching and wellness coaching, and I'm taking a gear toward hypnotherapy as well too. So I want to combine all of those.
Like hypnotizing about?
Yeah. Have you ever had hypnotherapy? Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what that is, to be honest. Because the only time I've seen that is on TV when people have that thing
like that.
And it's the subconscious. It's tapping into your subconscious mind to really just gear yourself toward whatever you're trying to do or whatever your goal.